It's the third annual FANNIE Awards. And now, here's your host, Andrew Fantasia.
We are back. It's day 8. This is supposed to be a number 8. I don't know. I'm bad with hand stuff. Welcome back to the Fannies. I'm Andrew Fantasia. And 8 happens to be my favorite number. So maybe today will bring us some good luck. We're talking about the number 3 movie of the year. My number 3 movie of the year. And it's funny because if you take the number 3 and you look at it, it's kind of like an 8 that got cut. I'm not going to try hand stuff. Let's just get right to it. What was my number 3 movie of 2017? The answer to that question can be found up in the sky. It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's a Spider-Man, and he's coming home. Superheroes are almost always fun. Almost. But Spider-Man is one in particular who holds a very special place in my heart. I grew up watching the colorful, bonkers Fox Kids cartoon in the 90s and visiting hobby shops all across the Toronto area to track down every last trading card missing from my collection. Spidey is kind of a big deal for me, but his movies have been hit and miss. I thought that the Sam Raimi trilogy that we got in the early 2000s was good, cheesy entertainment. On the flip side, I thought that the shameless, desperate 2012 reboot starring Andrew Garfield was so disgustingly, shockingly bad that I didn't even bother with its sequel. But this third iteration of Spider-Man might be my favorite, if for nothing else than the fact that Spider-Man Homecoming was the most fun I've had in a movie theater in a very, very long time. That's part of the charm of this character. He's fun, and he's always been fun. I think that's what attracts kids to him. Superman is like a stern parent, and Batman's a bit of an unapproachable psychopath, but Spidey, hell, Spidey's one of the guys. He's just an average dude trying to do the right thing, and watching him dodge both colorful supervillains and the everyday misfortunes of life is never not a pleasurable experience. Homecoming stayed true to that, skillfully inserting Spider-Man into the established Marvel Cinematic Universe while taking care to still properly craft his own supporting cast. Whether the events happening on screen were comedic or dramatic or scary or action-packed, the movie infused every single frame with the character's trademark fun. Throw in an amazing rendition of The Vulture by Michael Keaton, a beautiful, touching reference to a classic Spider-Man story, and a third-act plot twist that made everyone in the theater gasp. And I think it's safe to say that Homecoming was a home run. Now please, please, please bring J.K. Simmons back for the sequel. Have you ever been talking to somebody about a movie that you really like and you bring it up and you're like, oh man, have you had a chance to see XYZ yet? Because it was really, really fun, whatever. And then when you stop talking, the person you're talking to stares blankly and says, what the hell is XYZ? And you realize that not only have they not seen the film in question, they haven't even heard of it. They don't know it exists. I think that can be a shame, and that's why I created the FANNIE Award Most Underrated. These are movies that, whether or not they fall in my top 10, they're films that I believe need more attention than they got. They need more people talking about them, more people paying money to see them, just more spotlight than they actually received. These movies deserved better than the public gave them. And that's why today we're going to shed a little bit of love on our 5 nominees. And they are Coco, the Lego Batman Movie, Murder on the Orient Express, Power Rangers, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. And the Fannie goes to Murder on the Orient Express. Choo-choo! This was a very, very close call, but in the end, I think Kenneth Branagh's mystery adaptation deserves this award the most. Just for the fact that out of all the nominees, it's the one I've heard people talk about the least. It was here and then it was gone, flying under the radar, and I think it deserved better. Apart from being a great adaptation, Murder on the Orient Express was an impressive directorial feat. Sure, on paper you can write down a dozen consecutive scenes in which a mustached Frenchman interrogates random people on a train, but if you have to put that on film, good luck making it look dynamic or interesting. Yet somehow, Branagh does, playing out the whole interrogation sequence like a montage in as many varied locations as is possible given the limited setting offered by the story. Plus, the solution to the mystery itself was filmed in such a gorgeous, emotional way that everybody owes it to themselves to see it at least once. It's very powerful stuff. It had a huge cast, a huge director, a big budget, and was an adaptation of arguably one of the most famous murder mysteries ever written. So it astounds me that this wasn't a mega hit at the box office. With all of the spaceships and Norse gods dominating 2017, Murder on the Orient Express is a diamond in the rough. An underrated little gem that I had a great time watching. Take my advice. Pull out your magnifying glasses and give this film closer inspection. That seals it for day 3. There are just 2 days left in the Fannie Awards. I'll see you back here tomorrow, where we'll talk about my number 2 movie of the year, and then we'll take a literal number 2 on a movie that was, for me, the most disappointing film of 2017. Boo! That all happens tomorrow. We'll see you then.